All right, so Carl uh, just turned 13 and is now old enough to open a savings account. Previously, he used his piggy bank. Consider the advantages and disadvantages of using a savings account over a piggy bank. So there's advantages and disadvantages. Can anyone think of either an advantage or a disadvantage? Yes. Yeah, money will increase. Like we discussed, if you save $1,000 for a year, you're not going to get $1,000. You'll get some money in interest. One second. Money will increase, and I'll just put interest. All right, Jordan, did you raise your hand? No? Okay. Can anyone think of a disadvantage? Okay. So this is obviously a disadvantage here. Money money does not earn interest. Yes, Jordan. It's not convenient, is it? To get if you have a piggy bank, you need something, you want to go buy something, you're right there in your house, you crack open the piggy bank, get some money. So not convenient. Yes, Iris. Um yes, but that's a good question. So up to a certain amount, and we're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars, a bank insures your money, or the government actually insures your money. So the government says, put your money in the bank, we got you. And there is a limit, and that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you have maybe a few $1,000s in the bank, you're good. Yes, not convenient. And over here, what is the advantage that this one has? It's convenient. Okay, I think we're good. Yes. Uh huh. Yeah, if you're going to a bank, but every bank is has online access, but PayPal, right? It's like a bank. It is a bank actually, and you need to pay online. You could pay with PayPal, and it's right there for you. So, all right. So let's talk about simple interest. Simple interest is the interest earned only on the principal, and the principal is the original amount you deposited in the account or borrowed. Okay. It is earned over a period of time and written as a percentage. So that's why we're discussing it, because it's going to be percent. So we're going to be using the formula for simple interest. And here it is. I equals P times R times T. We're going to talk about what all those letters mean. Okay. So let's start with I. That stands for interest. And that's basically the money. It's a dollar amount that you either earn over some time or have to pay over some time. P is for principal. Hold on a second. And that's also money. So each of these are money, but we already talked about principal. Yes, Jordan. Yeah, but we're talking about financial interest. So in this case, it's money. So principal, we already talked about it. Okay, what is the principal? Anybody know? We talked about it here. It's the original amount. So say you put $2,000 in the bank. Yeah, that's your principal. What you initially put in. Okay. Say you borrow $10,000 for something. Maybe you want to fix up your house. So that's the principal, the initial amount. Okay. Yes. Yes. Is that some? That's for. It's kind of like free money, but the only thing is when you earn interest, like from a bank, what's the? Say you have $10,000, you leave it in the bank for like 4 years. You don't touch it. You earn a pretty good amount of money. What's the catch? Huh? No, you don't have to pay. It's your money. You decide to put it in the bank, and you'll get that money back. But do you have access to the money? In certain situations, you don't. So if you decide, okay, I want to really earn a high interest amount, right? You could sign a contract with the bank and put like say $10,000, but you got to promise not to take it out for however many years, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, but then you'll get a good amount of interest back. So yes, well it depends. Um, we're getting well. We're going to talk about that here with R. The R in the formula is rate, and the rate is basically the percent. Now it's a percentage as a decimal, and it's a percentage as a decimal, and the higher the percentage, the more money you get back. Now, remember I talked about remember we talked about saving money and promising not to take it out. Um, well, basically, if you sign one of those special contracts with the bank where you promise not to touch your money, and if you do touch your money, there's a penalty. That will hmm? They'll charge you. They'll take some. They'll charge you some money. Yeah, they'll charge you a fee. Like say, if you decide to take out the money in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, however many, we're gonna charge you $250 or something like that. So yeah, there'll be instead of earning money, you pay them. So basically, the longer you promise to keep that money in there, the higher your interest will be, and you'll earn more money. Okay, and the last one, what do you think T stands for? Time. And this is in years. So it could be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, or it could be part of a year. It could be 6 months, which is one half a year, right? It could be a year and a half, 2 years and a half. It just depends. So it'd be one, two, three, four, or one half, or 1.5, or 1.75. It all depends on how much, what part of a year you have. Okay. All right. So let's get into this. We're gonna look at some situations where interest is involved. You guys ready? Okay. So let's read through this problem. Destiny, can you read number one for me? Yes, this one right here. This one. Okay. So you put in $900 and you just let it sit there for 20 years. And so you're going to earn 4% interest on that. So let's see what we know. Um, let's put this in: interest, principal, rate, and time. Jordan, huh? No, it doesn't. Okay. No, no, no. That. Thank you for asking that. So, what Jordan is asking. Okay, hold on, hold on. What Jordan is asking is it a compound interest? Meaning, what you, the interest plus the principal is what they're going to charge you, what they're going to rate your next year's interest, and then the following years, and then the following. In other words, does the money accumulate faster? No, that's why it's called simple interest, because it doesn't compound. Next week, we're going to talk about compound interest, and you're going to see that you earn even more money that way. Yes. Yes, we'll talk about it. We'll use different calculators too. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's this formula, and we'll learn how to use it. So let's talk about this formula. So $900 deposit. Which one of these is that? Is it a interest, principal, rate, or time? It's the principal. It's what he put in. Okay, so that's 900. Write that down. Um, 20 years time. So that's 20. It's already in years. 4% rate. The 4% is our rate, but we have to write this as a decimal. 0.04. Okay, so we want to figure out the interest first of all. So let's put in the formula. Interest equals principal, so that's 900 times the rate, which is 0.04, multiplied by time, which is 20. All right, so let's go ahead on your calculator, multiply 900 times 0.04 times 20. Yes, did you get it? No, no, we just want the interest right now. $720. So over those 20 years, he made this person made $720 extra. So if we add that to the principal, so we call this the balance. They're calling it total value, but it's a balance. So it's going to be $900 plus $720. That would be the total value. And how much is that? So after the 20 years, $1,620. Okay, with the interest. All right. I'd like you to try number two. Let's set it up. Let's all read it together. A $5,600 deposit for 45 years at a simple interest of 3%. Okay. Let's start with what's 5,600 represent? Interest, principal, rate, or time? Which one is the 5,600? Principal. Okay. That's the initial money going in. Okay. And then we have 45 years. Not 450 years. 450. How about 3%? And that would be 0.03. If we want that as a decimal. All right. So let's figure out our interest. Okay. So how much in interest? If we multiply all three of those values. How much money is it? 7,560. That's more than the principal, right? You put in 5,600 and you're getting more money in interest. So what's our balance? 13,160. That's not bad. Okay, so I'd like you to try. I think we're getting the hang of this. Let's just do number three and go to the problems in the back. Try this one on your own. I'd like you to try this one on your own. Okay, so hopefully we figured out that the interest earned was $2,250. Yeah. Okay, so let's find the balance. We're going to take the 3,000 and add 2,250, and so that's 5,250. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Pretty easy, right? It's just if you can work this formula, you can figure out the interest, and then with simple addition, you can figure out the balance. Okay? We're going to go to the other problems on the other side. Okay, let's go. Um, so let's try this one. This is going to be a little different. An $800 deposit for 24 months earned $200 in interest. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. We have our formula. I'll write it up here. I equals principal times rate times time. So let's see what we have. Interest, principal, rate, time. So let's study this problem. Do we know the interest made? Yeah, we actually do. It's $200. It says earn $200 in interest. So 200. Do we know the principal amount? $800. Do we know the interest rate? We don't see a percentage there. So we don't know. This is the part we don't know. Do we know the time? How much is that? It's 24 months, but we need this in years. Yeah, so we divide by 12, it's 2 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in our formula, but we're not going to know the rate. So let's just do that. Let's do interest, 200, principal, 800, times rate. I'm going to just leave it as R. And then time is 2 years. So we get this. 200 equals 800 times R times 2. So it's an equation that we have to solve. So let's multiply the numbers we can. 802. That's what? 1,600? Okay. So basically, we have 200 equals 1,600 times R. So how are we going to determine or figure out the rate? Yeah, it's a simple equation, but it will tell us what R is. If we divide 200 by 1,600, what number do we get? Go ahead, try it on your calculator. Huh? The number? No, no, other way around. 200 divided by 1,600. 200 divided by 1,600. Yeah, remember, it's the numerator divided by the denominator. 0.125. Okay, let's write that down. Be careful with your divisions. This is the percentage written as a decimal. You remember how we convert it back to a percent? 1.5. Two places to the right. Okay, so the rate is 12.5%. And that's a pretty good interest rate. Um, what's the total value, the balance going to be? Basically, you take 800, add the 200, it's $1,000. All right. So yeah, we can figure out any of these values from our formula. So if we need to figure out the interest rate, we could figure that out. Let's look at the next one. Okay. Um, a $1,595 deposit for 10 years at a simple interest rate of 8%. Okay. So let's figure this out. Uh huh. So let's see, which one do we not know? Interest, principal, rate, or time? We don't know interest. Okay. We do know we do know the rate, and we do know the time, 10 years. Okay. So I'd like you to figure out the interest and the total value for this one. How much is our interest that we're going to get over 10 years? And if we add that to the 1,595, all right, let's try the next one. A deposit earns $102 after 36 months at a simple interest of 5%. So, do we know the interest? Yes, we do. It's $102. Do we know the principal? No. So that's what we're going to figure out. Our interest rate, we do know. And how much time? 3 years. Very good. We have to convert that in months into years. So that's 3 years. So let's set up our equation, our formula. 102 equals P times the rate, 0.05, times 3 years. So basically, we have to multiply our 0.05 times 3. How much? I'm going to write it as 0.15 times P. And again, we have to divide it out. That will cancel. And our answer to dividing 102 by 0.15 will give us 680. And then if we add the 680 with 102, all right, let's just do, I want to get you guys working. I think you guys did a great job on this. Let's try this. Number 8. Number 8. Uh, Reese made a deposit into an account that earns 8% simple interest. After 8 years, Reese earned $400. How much was the initial deposit? I'd like you to try it on your own. What are we looking for? Are we looking for interest, principal, rate, or time? Which one would you say we have to figure out? Principal. It'll be very much like number 7 we just did. Okay, it's $625. I do want to do number nine though. Um, let's do this one together. Jude deposited $550 into an account that earned simple interest after 11 years. The interest in the account was $484. What was the simple interest rate? So we know we want to find the simple interest rate. One second. One second. Okay. So we're looking for the simple interest rate. Yes. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's work it out together though. I'd like us to do that. So let's put the number values we do know into this formula. Um, we know the interest. How much was that? 484. We know the principal then has to be 550. The rate we don't know, so times R. The time we do know, 11 years. Okay. So let's multiply 550 times 11, and we get 6,050. So it's 6,050. Let's divide both sides by 6,050. And so, Jordan, what is the interest rate? Starts off at 0.08, which we can convert to 8%. Okay. All right. And we are going to leave it here, and we're going to do the assignment. I'm going to give you the handout. It's also on Cami. You can do it on Cami if you want.